I've found myself at odds with my neighbor Lisa over access to a shared pathway that had become a contentious issue. What initially seemed like a simple disagreement quickly escalated into a complex situation, revealing the deeper implications of property ownership and community relationships. The initial confrontation with Lisa was nothing short of shocking. As I stepped outside, I was taken aback by the sight of cement trucks rumbling down my private road, an unexpected intrusion that sent a wave of anxiety through me. Lisa, the president of the Homeowners Association, stood at the forefront, her demeanor aggressive and unyielding as she insisted on gaining access to the property for what she claimed was a community project. I felt a surge of determination to protect my property rights, knowing that this was not just about a simple disagreement, but a matter of principle. I had always valued my privacy and the integrity of my land, and seeing construction vehicles encroaching on my space felt like a direct threat. Lisa's assertive approach only fueled my resolve to stand firm against what I perceived as an overreach of authority. As tensions escalated, I realized that this confrontation was about more than just a road. It was a battle for my rights and a test of my commitment to preserving my home. The stakes were high, and I was prepared to fight for what was rightfully mine. Before the HOA's interference, I enjoyed a tranquil life on my property, surrounded by the serene beauty of nature. The mornings were filled with the gentle sounds of birds chirping, and the evenings brought a peaceful stillness that enveloped the land. This solitude was not just a luxury, it was a sanctuary where I could unwind and connect with my surroundings. The land held deep significance, representing years of hard work and personal investment, a place where cherished memories were made. However, this idyllic existence was abruptly disrupted by the HOA's encroachment, shattering the peace that had defined my life. The sudden arrival of construction vehicles and the aggressive stance of Lisa, the HOA president, transformed the landscape of my daily routine into a battleground over property rights. Central to this conflict were the concepts of easements and property rights, which became pivotal themes in the unfolding drama. I found myself grappling with the implications of these legal terms, realizing that my cherished solitude was at stake. As the tension mounted, the fight to protect my home and the tranquility it provided became a defining moment in my journey. The first meeting between Lisa and me was charged with tension from the start. Lisa approached with an air of authority, her demeanor assertive as she laid out the HOA's plans for the construction on the shared road. She claimed that the HOA had the right to access the property for community improvements, presenting her arguments with a confidence that left little room for discussion. I listened politely, trying to absorb the implications of her words, but felt a growing unease as Lisa continued to assert her position. When I calmly refused to grant permission for the construction, citing my property rights, Lisa's insistence only intensified. She leaned in closer, her tone sharp, as she reiterated the HOA's authority and the supposed benefits of the project. This exchange set the stage for an escalating conflict, with me feeling increasingly cornered by Lisa's aggressive tactics. What began as a simple conversation quickly morphed into a clash of wills, highlighting the stark divide between my desire to maintain my peaceful existence and Lisa's determination to impose the HOA's agenda. The stakes were rising, and we were both prepared to defend our positions fiercely. The turning point for me came when I discovered unauthorized construction taking place on my property. One morning while surveying my land, I was shocked to find workers setting up equipment and pouring concrete just beyond my boundary line. This blatant disregard for my property rights ignited a sense of urgency within me. Determined to take action, I began documenting everything meticulously, taking photographs and noting the dates and times of each incident. I also reached out to local authorities to report the unauthorized activity, seeking guidance on how to assert my ownership. As the situation escalated, I realized I needed a more formal approach to protect my rights. I decided to draft a notarized letter, clearly outlining my ownership of the land and demanding an immediate cessation of all construction activities. This letter became a key piece of evidence in the conflict, serving as a formal declaration of my stance against the HOA's encroachment. With this documentation in hand, I felt empowered to pursue legal action, ready to defend my property and restore the peace that had been so abruptly disrupted. The battle for my rights had officially begun. As the conflict escalated, I took decisive legal maneuvers to protect my property rights. I filed a formal complaint with the county zoning office, detailing the unauthorized construction and the HOA's overreach. This step was crucial as it not only alerted local authorities to the situation, but also set the stage for potential legal repercussions for Lisa and the HOA. I soon discovered that Lisa had submitted a fraudulent permit application, claiming rights to the road that she did not possess. This revelation added a layer of complexity to the case, as it highlighted Lisa's willingness to manipulate regulations for her own agenda. Armed with this information, I prepared meticulously for court, understanding that documentation would be my strongest ally. I organized all evidence, including photographs, the notarized letter, and records of communication with the HOA and local authorities. Each piece of documentation served to reinforce my claims and demonstrate the extent of Lisa's misconduct. As the court date approached, I felt a mix of anxiety and determination, knowing that my strategic responses and thorough preparation would be pivotal in the fight to reclaim my rights and restore peace to my life. The courtroom proceedings were tense as I faced Lisa and her legal team. The judge, a stern figure presiding over the case, listened intently as Lisa presented her injunction, attempting to justify the HOA's actions and the supposed necessity of the construction. However, I was prepared, delivering a well-reasoned rebuttal that emphasized the importance of private property rights. I articulated how Lisa's fraudulent permit application undermined the very foundation of property ownership and community trust. The judge's reaction was telling. He raised an eyebrow at Lisa's claims, clearly skeptical of her arguments. As the hearing progressed, the atmosphere was thick with anticipation, each word carrying weight. I felt a mix of anxiety and determination, my heart racing as I awaited the judge's ruling. When the judge finally spoke, he underscored the significance of protecting private property rights, stating that no community project could justify infringing upon an individual's ownership. A wave of relief washed over me as the judge ruled in my favor, granting a temporary injunction against the HOA's construction. In that moment, the tension that had built up over weeks began to dissipate, replaced by a renewed sense of hope and determination. Following the court ruling, the community's sentiment towards Lisa underwent a significant shift. Many residents who had previously supported her began to question her motives and the legitimacy of her actions. The news of my victory spread quickly, sparking conversations among neighbors about the importance of respecting property rights and the implications of Lisa's aggressive tactics. In the days that followed, I received a series of anonymous notes expressing support and solidarity. These messages, filled with encouragement and appreciation for standing up against the HOA, served as a powerful reminder that I was not alone in this fight. The community's response began to impact the ongoing conflict as more residents voiced their concerns about the HOA's overreach and the need for transparency in decision-making. This newfound unity among neighbors created a ripple effect, prompting discussions about revising HOA policies and ensuring that all voices were heard. I felt a renewed sense of purpose, knowing that my struggle had resonated with others. As the community rallied together, it became clear that Lisa's authority was waning, and my victory had sparked a movement towards greater accountability and respect for individual rights within the neighborhood. The concluding events unfolded dramatically as the final court case approached, with the community eagerly anticipating the outcome. During the hearing, the judge dismissed Lisa's claims outright, citing her fraudulent permit application and the overwhelming evidence I had presented. The ruling not only reinforced the importance of property rights, but also served as a clear message that Lisa's actions were unacceptable. Following the court's decision, the community convened to discuss the future of the HOA and the leadership that had led them into conflict. Fueled by a newfound sense of unity and purpose, residents voted overwhelmingly to remove Lisa from her position as president. This decision marked a pivotal moment for the neighborhood, as it signaled a collective desire for transparency and accountability. Having gained the trust and respect of my neighbors, I stepped up to assist the new HOA leadership in establishing fair policies and fostering open communication among residents. I worked tirelessly to ensure that the mistakes of the past would not be repeated, helping to create a more inclusive and supportive community. As the dust settled, I felt a profound sense of accomplishment, knowing I had played a crucial role in restoring harmony and integrity to our neighborhood. As I reflect on my journey, several key takeaways emerge from this conflict over property rights. The initial disagreement with Lisa, the HOA president, escalated into a significant battle that highlighted the importance of standing firm against unjust actions. Through meticulous documentation and legal maneuvers, I not only defended my rights, but also rallied the community to question the authority of the HOA. The resolution achieved, a court ruling in my favor and Lisa's subsequent removal, underscored the power of resilience in the pursuit of justice. This journey taught valuable lessons about the strength found in community solidarity and the necessity of advocating for one's rights. It serves as a reminder that when individuals come together to support one another, they can effect meaningful change. I hope this story inspires you to stand up for what is right in your own life. If you found this journey compelling, I encourage you to subscribe, like, and share this video. Join us for more inspiring stories that highlight the importance of community, resilience, and the fight for justice. Together, we can make a difference and empower others to do the same.